Greetings, booktubers, and welcome back to Grammaticus Books. Welcome back for another comic edition here on this Sunday. This is number 2. The first one I did, which is going to be a separate video, is for Thor Omnibuses 1 and 2. But in addition to doing that, yesterday I picked up Savage Sword of Conan by Titan Comics, issue number 1, and I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it real quick. I know I'm probably the last booktuber to pick up his issue of this comic. I read it at midnight last night. Literally at midnight, I'm reading this comic book. After having come back from watching the new Dune 2 movie, which is very good. I recommend it. So I read this and wanted to give you guys my thoughts. I watched a bunch of videos by a bunch of booktubers on this. There's probably a dozen of them out there. There's some really good ones. Michael K. Vaughan does an in-depth one. Steve Donoghue does a over 1 hour review of this comic book here. And Stygian Dogs, who does all things, specializes in all things Conan, does an excellent overview of this issue as well. And I'll link all 3 of those videos down in the description below. But I wanted to give you guys some real quick thoughts on it. First and foremost, just hats off to Titan Comics for getting this produced, getting it out into the hands of the comic book enthusiasts, the comic book collectors, the Conan fans. This is a huge win for Titan Comics, and especially for the fans, to once again have Savage Sword of Conan in the oversized black and white format back in the hands of the fans. So kudos to Titan Comics. This is the variant cover here. This is the Giardino. This is the B cover Gerardo Zaffino that I've got the B cover variant there, and it's decent. It's pretty good. So you open it up, and immediately inside you've got a letter to the fans by Roy Thomas, the man who kicked off the original Savage Sword, the man, the myth, the legend. What a great way to start this off. I couldn't think of a better way to start this off than with a letter from Roy Thomas. And in this letter, Roy Thomas mentions that he has a bunch of Conan stories that he wanted to tell that he didn't get the opportunity to tell when he was with Marvel, and he wants to put those into future issues of Savage Sword. And just what a spectacular win that would be. So that was a fantastic way to kick it off. And then you got this pinup by Robert De La Torre, who did the artwork for Titan's Conan the Barbarian color comic book that was just spectacular. And you got this great pinup by Robert De La Torre. Then you go in and you've got a map of the Hyborian world, and I'm going to come back to this. And then you've got another pinup here from one of the covers with Belit, and I'm going to come back to that as well. And then you go into the main story, which is the Dragon Horde, Conan and the Dragon Horde by John Arcuda, who did the writer, and Max von Fafner, who did the art. And I'm going to, I think Steve Donoghue says Max von Fafner is probably a pseudonym, and I agree with Steve. I think that probably is a pseudonym. The story it's got numerous reviews on YouTube. The reviews range from very good to horrible. My personal opinion on it, on this main title here, the main story within Conan's Savage Sword, is it's not bad. It could be better. The art could be better in parts. There's some things with the art that I would take issue with. The writing could be a little better. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's a decent start to Conan. I think there could have been some improvements to it, but I'm just going to leave it at that. It's not bad, and we're going to move on. If you want to check out some of the other reviewers, and they'll go into what they think of this story in more detail. And again, those reviews range from very good to not very good, but I'm going to say not bad. So after the Dragon Horde, you get the poem The Road of Kings by Robert E. Howard with a little black and white version of the B cover, which is really nice. I actually kind of like that better than the color cover on it. I like that in black and white with the ink line work. That comes across really well. And then you get a short story by Jim Zub, who is the writer on the Titan Comics color issue of Conan the Barbarian, called Sacrifice in the Sand. And it is very good. This is a very good little short story by Jim Zub here in Conan Savage Sword number 1. And that's a black and white pinup of the A cover to this by Jim Jusko. But I really enjoyed the short story. I hope that's a feature that continues. Here's page 2 of it. I would love to see that. It's like opening up a little treasure box and then finding a particularly sparkly little sapphire gem in there with these short stories. And I hope that that is a trend that continues in the future Savage Swords. And then you get the supporting story in here, which is a Solomon Kane story. Solomon Kane, a character by Robert E. Howard as well, that's called Master of the Hunt. And it's not bad. This is a decent Solomon Kane story. I really liked it. And take a look at the art in here. It's crisp. It comes off the page. You can understand what you're looking at. And that is an issue I'm going to come back to. So look at that. That looks good. That looks really good. That's good black and white artwork printed on a large newspaper print quality paper. So this is not your regular Conan the Barbarian comic book, color comic book type of paper. This is high quality gloss paper that can take all types of fine gradations. This is newspaper print, like the original was, for black and white. And so you've got that Solomon Kane story that is on the bookend here at the back of the magazine. And then after it, you get Men Shall Die for This, which is a little like letter here that is written up by essay by Jeffrey Shanks about Conan. And you get some pinups on the back. And then it goes in and shows you the alternate covers for the Conan Savage Sword. So I said I would come back to the map, and this is the big thing that I want to kind of express my opinion on here with Savage Sword. Titan Comics has got to fix their printing process. I mean, this is a mess. I've seen the digital version of this, and I've seen the digital version of the Dragon Horde. The digital versions of this are just wonderful. They leap off the page. They're crisp. You can see everything. This is just a muddled mess. The printing process, it just failed on much of this, and it just comes out as this very dark, hard to view, hard to figure out what is going on mess of a printing that happened. I mean, it's just black. The grays and the shades of black, they were supposed to be fine gradations. They just sort of merged together in the printing process, and you can't see what's going on in a large part of this comic book, which is a real shame. And I think that really comes out, and it affects the quality of the story, because this is a graphic novel. And the graphic part of this novel, if the graphics are just shades of gray where you can't see what's going on, you've got a real issue. And it's going to subtract from the story. Even if the story is great, you're still not going to be able to enjoy it if everything is just faded and gray. So where's that Belit? Like here in the pinup of Belit. You cannot see what's going on there. It's just a big mass of gray. And what I think happened is that they used, and take this with a grain of salt because I'm just spitballing, but what I think happened is they used the same computer graphics program that they did to produce the really fine gradations of color in here that you can get on modern high gloss print. I think they used that same computer program when they printed onto newspaper print that resulted in just this faded gray, kind of muddled, dark images here that you can't define, you can't see crisp definition of what's going on with it. And they must have used a different computer program the artist did when he was doing Solomon Kane, because this, actually, you can actually see what's going on. There is a difference, a visible difference in the printing quality here versus the printing quality here and here. You cannot see anything on that. It's horrible. So if Titan Comics, if you're listening, great job, really good job with the stories. Really love this, how the format's laid out. I'm looking forward to this going forward. I'll continue buying this. I recommend other people to buy it, but Titan Comics has got to figure out a way to fix that printing process. And I don't know what the solution to that is. I don't know if my analysis of it is correct, that they've used the same computer printing process for here that works very well on a high gloss piece of paper that just goes awry. But whatever they did here with the Solomon Kane story, that's acceptable. I would read that. I would not read. I don't want to read this. It's just not appealing to the eye. So hopefully they can fix that. But that's my real quick overview of Savage Sword. I know I'm like the last booktuber to get this up, but I did want to give my thoughts on it. Conan is near and dear to my heart. When this second story arc of Conan the Barbarian, the Color magazine, Color comic book finishes up, I will do an overview of the whole second story arc. The first one was excellent. This one is going very well. I'm super happy with it. I'm super happy that Savage Sword of Conan is coming out. Was a great preview of the next issue on there. I'm going to get it as well. And if they can just fix that one printing problem, I think the Titan Comics has got another winner on their hands. And that would be a fantastic thing for all of us. So that's it. I'm going to say, wrap this up and say, take care, be safe. And I'll catch you guys next time.